Jacob, also known as Israel, had 12 sons who became the patriarchs of the 12 tribes of Israel. In his final days, Jacob bestowed blessings and prophecies upon each of his sons, as recorded in Genesis 49. Here are the 12 sons, along with a brief explanation and their blessings. Reuben was Jacob's firstborn son, born to Leah. As the firstborn, he was expected to inherit a double portion and leadership of the family. Jacob describes Reuben as unstable as water and predicts that he will not excel because he defiled his father's bed by sleeping with Bilhah, Jacob's concubine, Genesis 49:3-4. Simeon was Leah's second son. Jacob rebukes Simeon and Levi together for their violent actions, particularly their slaughter of the Shechemites. Jacob states that their anger is fierce and their wrath is cruel, predicting that they will be scattered in Israel, Genesis 49:5-7. Levi was Leah's third son. Similar to Simeon, Levi's descendants are prophesied to be scattered, which eventually leads to the Levites having no inheritance of land, but becoming the priestly tribe, Genesis 49:5-7. Judah was Leah's fourth son. Judah receives a prominent blessing. Jacob declares that Judah's brothers will praise him, his hand will be on the neck of his enemies, and the scepter will not depart from Judah, indicating leadership and kingship, eventually fulfilled in the Davidic line and the Messiah, Genesis 49:8-12. Dan was the first son of Bilhah, Rachel's maidservant. Jacob prophesies that Dan will provide justice for his people and compares him to a serpent that bites the horse's heels, causing the rider to fall, Genesis 49:16-17. Naphtali was Bilhah's second son. Jacob describes Naphtali as a doe set free that bears beautiful fawns, signifying swiftness and eloquence, Genesis 49:21. Gad was the first son of Zilpah, Leah's maidservant. Jacob predicts that Gad will be attacked by raiders but will raid at their heels, indicating resilience and warrior qualities, Genesis 49:19. Asher was Zilpah's second son. Jacob blesses Asher with rich food, predicting that his descendants will provide delicacies fit for a king, signifying prosperity, Genesis 49:20. Issachar was Leah's fifth son. Jacob describes Issachar as a strong donkey lying down among the sheep pens, indicating that his descendants will submit to forced labor due to the good land they settle, Genesis 49:14-15. Zebulun was Leah's sixth son. Jacob predicts that Zebulun will live by the seashore and become a haven for ships, indicating maritime commerce and trade, Genesis 49:13. Joseph was Rachel's first son, and Jacob's favorite, known for his coat of many colors and his rise to power in Egypt. Jacob bestows a rich blessing on Joseph, calling him a fruitful vine by a spring. He acknowledges Joseph's hardships and perseverance, predicting future blessings and strength from God, Genesis 49:22-26. Benjamin was Rachel's second son and the youngest of Jacob's children. Jacob describes Benjamin as a ravenous wolf, signifying that his descendants will be fierce warriors, Genesis 49:27. These blessings reflect the characters and futures of Jacob's sons and their tribes, combining praise, rebuke, and prophecy.